You're listening to the Hurdy Gurdy Travel Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Vacula, here to help you travel the world at next to no cost through credit card points, miles, benefits, and rewards. Make money, save money, and take advantage of great deals. Visit my website at hurdygurdytravelpodcast.com, where you can read episode transcripts, complete a free credit card questionnaire to receive tailored recommendations, follow me on social media, view helpful resources, listen to past episodes, and contact me. Thanks for joining me for episode 19, Beaux Knows Credit. Beaux is a personal friend from Mississippi who started his credit card miles and points journey just last year, now with more than 10 cards. Learn about how he's gained great value not only through credit cards, but also investing, store deals, bank account bonuses, and loyalty program statuses. Visit his Facebook page at Beaux Knows, BEAUXKNOWS, and find him on Twitter and Instagram. Find links in the show notes. First, some personal and podcast updates. I'm recording this intro on April 1st of 2020, now day 16 of shelter in place here in the Philadelphia area. As promised, I'm continuing to release more episodes than usual, and am live streaming daily from YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with supporter of the show, Cakeologi. Join us for laughs, helpful tips, and your questions answered live. Visit his YouTube channel at Cakeologi, Cakeologi. More information can be found in the show notes. Now spending more time at home since social distancing guidelines are now extended until April 30th, I'm looking to participate on others' live streams, podcasts, and YouTube channels. Content creators, feel free to reach out to collaborate. On to today's episode. Enjoy. All right. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We're recording March 31st. How has the coronavirus impacted you? The first question that'll be on many of the listeners' minds.
The safety precautions, having to make sure that I'm doing what I can to not, open myself up, as important for myself, but for, as you know, Lynn is pregnant. So that's
your fiance, yeah.
Yes, my fiance Lynn, Alexander's due next month, and so I definitely don't want to increase a risk there. She's got me coming home and disinfecting whatever I bring home. I'm taking my mail and disinfecting my mail.
No travel at the moment, no work at the moment. A lot of shelter in place, right? Just staying away from the world as usual, and even credit card spend has gone down.
Most definitely. I mean, there's not much of a market unless you're investing. I have done a little. I didn't invest this week. It's actually, they passed the bill. It spiked up. So there's not much going on in business in general.
Yeah, usually we're out and about, capitalizing on deals, going to stores, ordering things online, but it's just been a slower period. And we thought January was bad after the holiday season, right? But I'm sure it'll pick back up. But with the credit card hobby, you've been able to have a safety net of sorts from all the cash back, all the points, all of the free things that you've gotten in the last year or so, right?
It makes for a really great supplemental income, really, to pick the right cards, capitalize, like you said, on the cash back, and also on some of the more flexible redemptions that you may find with some of the cards where now you're not traveling, and so you were able to redeem the points or cash back. If you need to, you can cash it or invest. That's what I've been doing the last few weeks.
Right, with the Charles Schwab Platinum with American Express, right?
My favorite card.
Yeah, unfortunately, not using Centurion lounges at the moment or flying, but unlike some other guests, you're not traveling as much. Maybe once a year, twice a year, and you've done some local stuff, maybe driving an hour or two, staying at a hotel, some sightseeing, some swimming.
Stretch $1 and maybe do things that you would otherwise not, or you at least put off longer. And so that's definitely a plus, even for those that may not be able to travel 4 times a year, or that maybe not travel for work, or just really have a lot of responsibilities, kids at home and stuff, that you were able to, it allows you to do more with the extra savings you would have and the extra options available with whether it be a status at a hotel or whether it be a benefit given to you for just being a card holder.
Yeah, and you've been at it for about a year, as I've said. And the first time that we chatted, you were just getting cards for 0% APR, but not getting any sign-up bonuses or statuses or benefits. So now fast forward, and now you're at about a dozen cards, and you've gotten free nights, free trips, and a lot of casino status matching, as we met in Las Vegas.
To give you that status with the hotel, a lot of co-branded cards give you the status, and then once you have that status, it's just a couple clicks away to match the status, and then you're able to be given upgraded rooms, and you get VIP treatment without
really spending much at all. Yeah. It's interesting.
Nice.
I sit at the poker tables and guys talk about, I had to play blackjack for such and such time, and I was playing video poker, and it took a few hours, and I was down like $2,000. Like, well, I signed up for a card, and I was able to just get all those benefits and not have to spend so much time and money. A lot easier doing it this way.
And so right then he said, Justin, I want to know more.
Yeah, then they say, I don't know, it sounds like too much effort. but my contention is that it's well worth it. We're not going for, I'm going to spend 30 minutes clipping coupons to save $1. We're talking about some big bonuses here with sign-up bonuses on cards, bank account bonuses, statuses, lots and lots of benefits.
The value is most certainly there, and that's part of the drive for me to kind of share the good news. Is it's really not something that someone should really sleep on. It's easy to miss it, to not see the value. But once shown that, I find it really great. I mean, it will change your lifestyle. It would be you will change the way your finances are handled.
Absolutely. Have a lot of fun with it as well. People think that it's like a drudgery of, you have to manage this account, organize this, organize that. But I don't really find it that intense. And in what case is free stuff just going to pop in your lap? You'll have to do some effort for it. You can't just win the credit card lottery and get all this money from the banks. It's going to be some effort. The effort I don't think is that tremendous, considering the hourly gain on some of these things is really good. Like you had a lot of benefits from Wells Fargo establishing a relationship with them, right?
Oh, definitely. And that's something that is really available to anybody. You have, obviously, the bigger the bank, you have the bigger, better benefits that more they can offer. I don't have a local Chase, so I had to actually schedule a time to go down there and when I could actually make the drive, but that was well worth it as well. And so my Wells Fargo was nothing but 5 minutes down the road. Mm-hmm. I was able to go in, sit down and open up an account, was able to secure a bonus, and she gave me Wells Fargo Business Platinum card. So that would allow me to make purchases for my business, 0% APR for 9 months, not only to make that, but interest free, but also to be given cash back that I could use towards, which was, like I mentioned before, the flexible points system that allows me to either cash out at a great rate or to use for travel.
Yeah, and that was 50,000 points for $500 on the sign-up bonus. And you also got a cash bonus for the business checking account. And you also had the personal account as well. So we're talking about $1,200, $1,300 there, and ongoing benefits and ongoing return on spend.
Think of the return there, right? I mean, there's requirements to be met with that going in. So you're going to know you can meet the requirements or not better than anybody else would.
Yeah. As long as you're being responsible, managing your finances and paying bills, right? Not going out there and running it all up. People sometimes characterize it as, you're going to go into debt. You're going to owe all this money. But no, we're making our payments in full. We're avoiding interest. We're avoiding unnecessary fees. And we're trying to optimize it the most we can.
And that's it. It's a tool. And if you used wisely and used properly, it's going to really help you to capitalize and to, really bring you a lot more gain for minimal investment. You said $1,200, $1,300 in an hour's time to open up these accounts.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to beat that. Yeah, as a side thing, a hobby. I mean, a lot of people will be just spending money in a hobby and they'll have their fun, they'll have their entertainment, but they're not going to be getting that cash return. So why not add a hobby that's going to give you a pretty good return and enable you to travel, save money, and make money, right?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so your strategy has changed over time, getting multiple cards. Because what I hear from people was, I put everything on my American Express Platinum card and I get one free flight a year. Or, I put everything on Citi Double Cash and I use that cash to pay for travel. But we know that that's not the optimal way to do it here. We're targeting sign-up bonuses and a lot of offers on cards. So your strategy has changed from just getting that 0% APR card that didn't give any other benefits to now a much different approach.
My eyes were opened. I was looking at being able to leverage the funds as needed. And this was before I had a business. This was just for personal finances and being able to really try to make the most of the interest rate that I would have at my bank to kind of stack that with the benefits that I would get with the card, which was just the 0%. Luckily, I had a Chase card when I was doing that. And Chase, being a great institution to be with, so I had a relationship with them, even though it wasn't what their best card, wouldn't have been a card that I would have got now. So I was able to, fortunately, product change that, but, allowed me to have a better chance at getting what better card with them. And they offer some great cards. And, that was the first card I got. That was the first step really into getting familiarized with, ways that this credit card hobby and, really seeing the utilization from these banks, how they could best suit, and meet you a little bit better than what you might otherwise a normal person might do. Having, perks on a debit card, I've never had that before. Never had, the ability to, like you said, walk into somewhere that, whether it be a casino or a fancy hotel and be able to get these upgrades and this VIP treatment.
Yeah, skip the lines, get the free buffets, the $100 meal, the celebration dinner at Caesars. Someone called it a celebrity dinner a few weeks ago. I guess it could be a bit of both, right? So we had that. And not only one time either, it extends also to 2020. Of course, when the casinos open again, you can redeem if you haven't already.
Right.
But yeah, one status from one card that lasts for 2 years. So what a nice thing, being able to rematch the statuses, and chatted about that in a previous episode with Travel Fanboy for those listening who are interested in more of the details. We won't rehash them all here. So yeah, it's the cards with the 0% APR and the big sign-up bonuses and the earning potential. So that's definitely a way to go rather than missing out on all that other stuff. Like people will say, oh, well, I got a Best Buy credit card because I wanted to buy something at Best Buy. But it's like, no, you can get many other cards that give you much more back on your spend. And we're talking about the sign-up bonuses being like a 15, 20% return on spend, and sometimes even better. So why not maximize your spending, do what you're already doing, and maybe add some things?
I mean, the savings are there, and it's not really that many extra steps. It may be an extra, site portal, using, the time to look at your card, figure out which card category to best maximize that savings on this individual, specific purchase. Being able to, look at the actual, if there's, and as you mentioned, a sub, if the card offers a spend requirement, you're able to actually really gain from just using your card, using that, just putting 100% of your spend, that you would spend through debit or check onto that one card and really end up with maybe possibly a free round trip to Vegas.
Yeah, big returns on our money, not just 1%, 2%, but those big sign-up bonuses in addition to all of the earnings. Right, and even you changed one of your Citi cards that you had. You had an old Citi card that had that intro 0% APR, but you product changed that to the double cash, so you're getting 2% back on everything when you're not working on a sign-up bonus, and if you don't have a bonus category. And over time, you've accumulated a lot of bonus categories anyway without specifically even targeting them.
Exactly. And the great is flat rate cards are great to have.
Yeah, Blue Business Plus, Blue Business Cash, Citi Double Cash, a lot out there.
Definitely. And through all the issuers, just about. And it's really great to actually, when you have those cards that they all pool, your points all pool together. So if you have that, like you said, the BBC or the Blue Business Cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a huge card. Yeah.
Yes, it's so huge. And BBP, all of these, they allow you to pool your points together. So when you're spending on them, it's not so it's not a constant math equation, to use it at first, as long as you make the plan initially, then the plan handles itself.
Yeah, and with me, I have a high level of spend. So what I'll do is think about, this is a dining purchase, so I'm going to use the card with the highest dining multiplier because I'm confident I can get to the sign-up bonuses on spending that doesn't have a bonus on it. So if I can get 4 times points while dining, then I'll go ahead and use my American Express Rose Gold card rather than putting it on the Delta card that I'm working on a sign-up bonus for at the moment. So I'm able to just use different cards and try to maximize as much spend as I can. Oh, a train in the background there.
Oh, you can hear my train, huh?
Yeah, money,
yeah,
savings.
I like it's coming. That's the gravy train. That's what I bring. It don't stop. Money in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, and even when you visited Chase, you also paired that with your hotel stay, right? You weren't just, taking a 2-hour drive to open a bank account. You're adding some things into the trip. That's what I recommend people. It's like, oh, you're going everywhere. You're stopping in all these places. And, oh, aren't you concerned about the time on the road or whatever? It's like, well, no, I bundle a lot of trips together and get good value. I'm not going to take a 15-minute detour to save $2, right? But I'll try to strategically plan the travel.
The deals are out there, and as long as you plan ahead of time, then you just make that extra stop, or maybe not even extra stop. You just grab that extra item that you're in store. Once you're in store, you grab that and you use the right card. As you said, there's not going to be a reason not to use that category. You want to use every tool that they give you, that these banks give you, to your advantage. Why leave money on the table? So quite literally in that situation, so you use your 4X on that dining. Not going to be many reasons to miss out on a category. And that's when you have multiple cards as well.
Right. And I'm always trying to work on a sign-up bonus. That's what I'm doing. And if I don't have that, then I have the 2X at least. But I'm not just going to settle for a 2% return because I think I can do a lot better than that. So it goes on, and a little bit of research, a little bit of solving that puzzle, consulting. And over time, I think the community has been very helpful, just engaging with others who have a lot of good ideas. People have been in the game for several years and keeping up with certain blogs like Doctor of Credit is a really great resource, Frequent Miler. A lot of these I've talked about in previous episodes. So it's not like we're scouring individual bank sites and looking at store flyers all the time, right? That's going to be very difficult and probably not worth it.
I would say that I admit that when I walk into a store now, I'll grab the flyer.
Yeah, so being aware of deals, like you have a local grocery store, Winn-Dixie, and occasionally they run promotions giving you extra grocery rewards for buying gas gift cards, maybe like 10X, 15X promotions that give a pretty significant discount on gas. And a lot of people mention like, oh, where do you spend your money on? Oh, I want to save money on gas. And using reward programs, credit cards together can be really helpful.
You're talking 20% savings. So, I mean, you go in, and if you have a credit card that you have some cards that'll give you 4X in grocery, even 6X in grocery. And so you can go in, as you said, and get a gas gift card at the grocery store, where they're going to give you an increased amount of points back at the grocery store to use later on your purchases. And all the while you're getting 4X and 6X. So, and then you can use that stack that with a reward program for fuel. And 3 months ago, I was getting what I'm paying, the same amount I'm paying now for fuel. A really good savings, and you're talking every time you go to the fuel pump now.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, getting a card with a big sign-up bonus and a category. We're not trading off categories or trading off sign-up bonuses for categories. Like people will sign up, oh, I want the Dux Unlimited card that gives me 5% back on gas, but there's no sign-up bonus. Like we were even looking at the Citi Costco Visa, and that just seems really terrible. Like they can't even give you a $100 store certificate as a sign-up bonus. So not very good if you have access to the better cards in the market.
And there's plenty of options. And so to actually, limit yourself, that's shooting yourself in the foot. And as you said, there's a great community out there that can respond. And, that was actually how I got into it, is just from, seeing you online. And so the Hurdy Gurdy Travel Podcast that Justin has, if you follow his, he lists, a great breakdown of cards and what's available, you have the options there. And so that takes, that's on Facebook. I know you're going to be on there. Many of us that don't have a Facebook, so you're already there. Just takes the time to read and see what the options are before you pull the trigger.
Yeah. It's probably one listener in the audience, Eliza. She says, "Oh, I don't want to be on Facebook." So, well, I'm on different platforms, so that's helpful. Lots of ways. So I say, all right, here's this idea for this card, right? So some people are in that player 2 scenario where they have significant others or friends or family members, and they're able to just share that information rather than, oh, you go do this on your own and figure it out, right? People can help each other. That's a really important thing. Yeah, a lot of generosity. We went to a meetup together as well a few months back.
Yeah, that was nice. It was the only local for me that we've had. I'm really looking forward to another one.
Yeah, I was in the New Orleans area, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm from. As far as I'm from Baton Rouge, and that I have family there, and so I'm all about that networking. And as I said, I have a passion to help people. And this is something that the potential here to actually see someone, eliminate or to avoid debt, establish a credit that's going to serve them the rest of their life, where they go from having 6 or 7 to 800 credit score. Even not that 800 is that critical, but just to have that excellent credit score, the 720 above. I know you had just posted on one of your a recent podcast. You said about the over importance assigned to the 800 credit score, and
yeah, some people might not want to get involved. Like, I don't want my credit to go down. But it's like, if you already have a score of, like 750, and a lot of people I meet with for the first time talking about this, they're in the high 700s. Like, what's it going to matter? 3-point dip for a card. And in time, it just comes back anyway. I'm more than happy to give up 2 or 3 points that don't matter in exchange for like $500, $600 worth of travel and so many other benefits. It's just a no-brainer.
Exactly. And then your credit will actually go up from the utilization, from having more credit, more lines. So and then you have more options and benefits with the cards. And
yeah, all about options. Lots of gratitude now. I'm sheltered in place here in the Philly area, but I have so many groceries through so many rewards programs in recent months. I mean, there were so many times where I just had so many grocery points and they were going to expire. So what do? Oh, okay. I'll buy a lot of coffee, oatmeal, rice, quinoa, Cliff Bars. I'm looking through the kitchen now, all kinds of sauces and sprays and everything. I'm set. It's not having to raid the store at the last minute. Everything's out of stock or breaking the bank, buying all this stuff. Like, the savings are substantial here. Even the chair you're sitting on, right? You got an excellent deal on that.
Yeah, the Office Depot deal was it was enabled partly by the credit cards, and so that is something you really can't turn a blind eye to. You really have to take advantage of what's out there, because in times like this, you really appreciative of the smarter financial decisions you've made, where you and your family are not in a bad situation, or where you, as you said, generosity, it allows you to be generous. If my family needed something, I would have the pleasure and I would have the opportunity to actually say, I could help, let me help. And that is, something you would want. If you can, it's going to take somewhat of decisions on your part financially. And that's what it really boils down to. This conversation is about being able to, really maximize your dollar, really improve your financial situation and lifestyle in general.
Yeah, more freedom, more independence, more options. If for some reason you were paycheck to paycheck, for instance, you can leverage that 0% APR that you have on multiple cards, or just get a new card that has that feature, also with a big sign-up bonus if you really needed to. And now we have April 1st coming, and people are worried about, how am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? Because they're laid off of work, and maybe they're not getting paid by their employer. And what do? Well, we've been prepared for that, because we've been frugal. We've been paying attention to what's been going on and taking advantage of all the great programs.
The little by little adds up. It's not going to, obviously we're not selling some get rich quick scheme.
Yeah, it's
it's called a lottery.
No credit card lottery. Yeah, it's like Dave Ramsey's really critical. Oh, you're not going to get rich from credit cards. Like, well, nobody ever had that goal to begin with, but we're getting significant earnings here. And it was maybe 2-3 years ago where I would say, oh, I would really like to go to such and such a place, but that would be expensive. And you've seen me in February just going everywhere. I was in New Orleans. I was in Hawaii. I was in Vegas. It's like, oh, this is nothing. I have these miles. I have these points. I have these benefits. And even food costs being extremely low while traveling, too, through a lot of benefits and perks that I had. So, yeah, it's lots and lots
I said, what is going on? Let me reach out. What is going on? Let me ask. Let me hit him up Facebook, see what is going on. You didn't just post the picture, the glamour shot. You didn't just post the glamour shots. You also you also broke it down and said, I was able to apply for this card, use this in a way that benefited and allowed me to make this trip. It wasn't this big expense that is unattainable to most people. It was, you're talking about traveling for next to nothing.
Right.
And it's just by you're using points and miles that you earn by your normal spend, by what you would do normally. So instead of buying with a check or debit card, you're actually using one with great rewards that allows you over time to take a vacation for almost free. Post those glamour shots and do the same thing. And that's what I wanted. So I'm like, okay, I need to reach out. So that is what I would encourage y'all to do. Is, to anyone listening, is to comment, with any advice you may have or questions you may have. I would be more than glad. Justin can reach out to you. You can find him on this, Hurdy Gurdy Travel Podcast. There's plenty of information. There's a huge community. So it's the options are out there and you're able to find them.
Yeah, and at the moment, I'm also giving free consultations that people can fill out a form, and I can figure out what credit card works for you, giving some options and depending on what the best offers are at the moment. Because if you're just out on your own and just applying for random cards, responding to mail offers, you're bound to make a lot of mistakes. And I see people doing that. A lot of people come to the community and say, oh, well, I got these like 4 or 5 cards and now I realize that they weren't good cards at all. And I'm locked out of Chase. I can't get cards with Barclays, and they're missing out on all that value because they made some mistakes early on, or they just didn't know about certain offers.
Definitely key to do your research, to look into it. And that's also why you want to, reach out and find out, what everyone else has going on, what the bank, being able to keep up with the bank rules and the options. It is a bit of a work to do that. And whenever you're able to have someone that can guide you a little bit, that's definitely beneficial. Save you some time. Once you have that initial plan, then it all will fall in place. But it's a matter of actually getting that plan together. And when you are out there, like you said, on your own, then you are bound to make more mistakes without having the knowledge of some of the stricter banks' policies and rules that will actually hurt you in the future by what you do. So it's a great time starting out wherever you're at now. You just have to make a step into figuring out what that plan will be. And then that's start from where you're at and work on getting to where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've started your Facebook community as well. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Your plan is largely centered on Chase and American Express. You're seeing the great value of Chase cards, and rather than just applying for all these personal cards out there, you've been focused more on the business cards, so you can still get cards with Chase, right?
Exactly. Chase, their 524 rule, where that is something that many people were missing. Chase is a great bank. It offers a lot, and that's definitely who I'm focused on at the moment. That's going to pay dividends in the future whenever I have a great relationship with them and not have to worry about when and where I can actually be approved for their card. Because that should be who you focus on. That's your starting point, would be Chase. That's what I'm definitely going to advise, and many others would advise the same. Is definitely look at Chase and get a relationship with them. They're a great bank. Into their rules mandate that you do that. It's pretty much mandatory. So.
Yeah. Yeah, especially those business cards. You're looking at sign-up bonuses of 50,000 points or $500, 80,000 points or $800, and some people even getting some bigger offers than that. So lots of value, even with that Chase Ink Cash ongoing 5X at office supply stores, which can be a high spending category for many.
Yes, and match that with the 5X, with the 0% APR, and being able to leverage those funds especially for a business starting out. That is, you really have to take every chance you get. You never, because like situations pop up like this one, and
yeah, absolutely, lots of value to be had there. Yeah, for cashing out, for Hyatt stays, for United, Southwest, lots of options again with those flexible points rather than just being tied into one program. And no annual fee on that Chase Ink Cash card too is really nice. Although I read a lot of people getting deterred by annual fees. They're not willing to sign up for cards with annual fees at all. And I find that to be really limiting, as many of the annual fees can be there, but you'll often gain more value from cards with annual fees compared to those without.
And so, yeah, if you look at what the card offers, the benefits there, and if you spend a little bit of time there and also reach out, you might be able to get a little bit of help, or, do your research online. You can find the answers. If not, you can reach out. A lot of times, you'll actually more than outweigh the cost of that membership charge, the annual fee, with the perks and the benefits that come with being a card holder.
Yeah, I look at it as an upfront investment. Okay, I'm more than happy to pay $100, especially in that first year, if I'm going to get that big sign-up bonus, if I'm going to get those benefits, that's fine. And once the second year comes around, some issuers will just outright waive the annual fee if you call in and ask, and others will give you retention offers. And if it doesn't make sense for you to continue paying the annual fee, well, you just cancel the card and move on in most situations. But yeah, it's again a person-to-person situation, as some people get more value from cards than others. Like, of course, I'm not going to recommend a Delta card to someone who doesn't intend to fly in the next 3 years. So that's how. That
only makes it a more lucrative thing, is that they will complement each other. That's why another reason, where you don't shy away from having multiple cards. Some are scared to open the account, like you said, for whether it be the credit or whether it be trying to manage, which there's not much to it. You set it to pay your statement balance in full, and do your best to actually maximize it. And that's really all there is, till you have these multiple options and you want to use it. So you have some actual banks will charge you in the second year for that annual fee. So you can have the first year waived. And then if it comes with a sign-up bonus, that sign-up bonus may cover the annual fee for 5 years. And so whether they waive it or not, you would have to take that into consideration. So you may have that card for 5 years and still never, come to actually annual fee that's outweighed by the perks and the benefits and the sign-up bonus.
Yes, lots of considerations, lots of ways to win in this space. All right, we're coming on the end of discussion now. Can you tell us about your online presence, where people can find you on social media and what you're offering as well?
You reach me at Beaux Knows 1. It's BEAUX KNOWS, the number 1, 2, TOO, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I have just started and looking forward to put out more content. And so if you have any questions, comments, just feel free to drop them below or hit me up.
All right, great. Any final words for those out there?
Take action, make it happen. Reach out. Even if it's, we all start at different places. So whether, you're ready to go for, starting a business, or whether you're trying to build credit, in college, looking for, maybe a student card.
Yeah. Not everybody's going to start or should start with the American Express Business Platinum, paying a huge annual fee and getting all these complicated things to start out with. Start with some easier cards and work your way up from there. I've talked a lot about that in previous episodes. And of course, it all depends on your situation. I mean, people, just in college or high spenders, something out there for everyone. And what have you been doing in the past few days with the shelter in place? How have you been keeping busy?
Definitely, there's been a lot here at the homestead. There's been a catch up around the house, and definitely being able to work out at home now that the gyms are closed, and just stay afloat. It's hard right now for people. It gives me a lot of time to take stock and reflect, where my values are, what I'm investing in. It's definitely going to get much worse, I think, before it gets better. I like to think that people are able to use this time to reflect and then to make these financial decisions and make better ones and put a plan in place. I'd definitely be more than happy to do that. That is definitely needed more than ever.
Yeah, it's definitely a time to take a breather, to reassess. I like that, trying to make good use of the time rather than talking about life being miserable and just moping around and squandering time, right? And have some leisure, have some balance, but of course, make some good use of the time and be productive. All right, great. All right, thanks for chatting today. We've gotten past the train, the power tools, and all the other interruptions of the world. So maybe we'll keep some of that in for the listeners just for fun. Who knows? All right. Yeah, so someone in the background with the power tools, you say, take him. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more content. Visit my website at hurdygurdytravelpodcast.com, where you can read episode transcripts, complete a free credit card questionnaire to receive tailored recommendations, view helpful resources, listen to past episodes, and contact me. Support my work through Patreon, PayPal, the Cash App, and referral links by visiting the Donate tab on my website. Subscribe on YouTube at Hurdy Gurdy Travel Podcast, like my Hurdy Gurdy Travel Podcast Facebook page, follow HG Travel Podcast on Twitter, and follow Justin Vacula on Instagram. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation with full-time business coach and YouTuber Cakeologi, who can help you formally establish your business, build business credit, and get premium business credit cards. When you select from various paid services after the free consultation, I will receive credit for referring you. Listen to Cakeologi on episode 12 of my podcast. Visit my other podcast at stoicsolutionspodcast.com, where you can find practical wisdom for everyday life, inspired by the ancient philosophers of Greece and Rome. Thanks to generous patrons and fans of this podcast who help support my work. Have a great day.